Serena and I had been together 7 years, working in the same cubicle farm, and because the firm has a strict no-dating policy, we'd never gone public. Then the new director arrived, and overnight she was always horsing around with him, standing too close. I asked her to dial it back. People were noticing. She told me not to be petty. It was all a work needs. Until the day a party game spun the bottle straight into disaster. Derek drew the dare card and kissed my girlfriend in front of everyone. She leaned in like she was tasting champagne, then sighed loud enough for the whole room to hear. Director's tongue should come with a 5-star rating. Imagine how happy I'd be if I could call him mine. I started the applause from the back row. Make it official. Make it official. Weekend off-site. Whole department packed into the hotel ballroom for team building bingo. Derek's dare, lock eyes with a random woman for 3 full minutes. Instead, he strode straight to Serena and crushed his mouth against hers. When I looked over, she was already lost in it. Mumbling between breaths, Derek kisses like a movie trailer. If I could clock in every morning to that, I'd never complain about Mondays again. The room exploded with hoots and match made in heaven commentary. Power is currency at the firm, and Derek signs the expense reports. So every cheer sounded like a promotion promise, especially when Serena flicked her gaze to me for half a second, then dove right back into his lips. I sat in the folding chair row, watching the two of them sway like slow dancers on stage. Couldn't play invisible, so I lifted my red plastic cup and led a fresh chant. Just date already. Just date already. A couple of coworkers who knew the Real story shot me the universal look of roadside crisis sympathy. They opened their mouths, closed them, no words. When the music died, Derek scanned the crowd like a lion who just marked a tree, then dabbed his mouth with a cocktail napkin. Serena, you're not taken. Right. If you are, hope your guy doesn't mind. Only a game. I stared at her, waiting for one syllable of boundary. Nothing. Just an eye roll that felt more like a stop sign raised at me. Then she giggled up at him. Come on, Derek. Even if I had a boyfriend, he'd be a demo version next to the full release. Derek's grin turned smug. See, this is why Serena just made deputy manager. She gets the politics. A laugh popped out of me before I could cork it. Sleep your way to a new title? How refreshing. Serena caught the laugh, her pretty face folding in origami angles. She tried to spit something, swallowed it instead. Old me would have flipped the table. New me felt nothing, except a small voice whispering, let the trash take itself out. I poured a beer, lifted it toward them like a toast. Crowd's hype. Chemistry's real. Why not sign the paperwork tonight? I vote you two get welded together so the rest of Riverdale stays safe. Serena's eyes turned to ice picks. Jason, did you eat garbage for breakfast? It's a stupid game and you're acting like I murdered a puppy. Get a hobby. Then the dam broke, he spun a wheel and picked the nearest person. If you can't handle recess, go home and sulk. You're the one making it gross. So maybe take your dirty mind and crawl back under it. Derek, delighted someone else was swinging the bat, shrugged, let it go. Serena, some people just don't play well with others. 7 years of late-night ramen and secret New Year's kisses. And my girlfriend finishes a public makeout by telling me I'm the problem. Cool. Half the room nodded along like I'd personally insulted their 401k. I wanted to crack their skulls open to see if tolerance had replaced brain tissue. No logic. But whatever. Respect the collective delusion. From start to finish, Serena owned the moral high ground, and never once pointed the megaphone at herself. If this were year 2, I'd have screamed our relationship timeline to the ceiling tile and let HR sort the rubble. Instead, I figured, if someone insists on barking, who am I to hand her a leash? I wouldn't pet that dog again even with gloves. Monday HR called me in. Policy violation. Effective immediately. Demotion. Meanwhile, Serena ascended to the desk she'd decorated on Pinterest since orientation. She looked at me across the bullpen with zero remorse. Only venom and victory. That was the moment I knew she'd served our 7-year secret to the higher-ups on a silver tray. Love versus corner office. She'd signed the offer letter before the ink dried. Coworkers who knew the truth watched like it was Netflix. Wronged man becomes joke. Season 1. 8 episodes. Derek brushed past. Performing pity. Jason, stubbornness ages you. You still have a chair here because Serena put in a word. Remember that. I stared at this walking HR handbook and wondered how conscience could be so light. Before I could answer, Serena cut in. Don't project your gutter thoughts on us. He values my potential. She tossed in an eye roll for garnish. Derek nodded. We're alumni. Remember, senior mentor and protege. I know how to unlock her strengths. Whether those strengths involved spreadsheets or thread counts, I couldn't say. The way they traded glances turned my stomach. I kept my face flat, almost bored. Then, in front of the entire floor, I tore the demotion letter into confetti. Appreciate the charity, but I won't rot here watching the two of you rehearse a cheap romance. I'm out. Try not to poison anyone else. Honesty, apparently, is unprofessional. Brows furrowed. Heads shook. Obviously I was the sideshow. Serena's mask cracked, still whining. Wear the green hat if it fits. Jason. Derek and I are pure hierarchy now. Stop sniffing for scandal. Newsflash, your girlfriend gets promoted and you sulk. Never saw how small you were until now. She seemed to have deleted the calendar reminder. We were supposed to file marriage papers next month. She'd stayed out all weekend, no text, no call, yet here I was on trial. Guess I'm the type who enjoys unpaid emotional labor. Because Derek approves time cards. The peanut gallery chimed in on cue. I said nothing, just studied Serena. I could already script the next scene. Fight. Block. Ghost. Maybe we should break up. Me chasing like a golden retriever within 6 hours. Always me apologizing, even when the fault was her shadow. I'd been the understudy in our play for 7 years, so bent I couldn't see the stage. From the herd came a murmur, if it's this bad, why stay together? I looked up. Serena's pupils danced, then steadied. Couples argue. Big deal. Jason only has eyes for me. We'll walk down the aisle eventually. Just not today. Translation. Today I'm blocking aisle traffic. Heartburn shot up my throat. Thought I could ghost walk out. But 7 years isn't 7 days. Maybe the relationship was DOA from scene 1. While I zoned out, memory dragged me to the pilot episode. We didn't meet cute. Our parents arranged the intro. Serena had a waiting list, but she told the world no applicant impressed her. I was the least noteworthy resume in the pile. Then her family's company imploded. Dad's debt became river water rising to her chin. Every suitor suddenly had urgent priorities elsewhere. Only me, the fool with a savings account and a second-hand suit, emptied my balance and borrowed more to keep the collectors from her door. But I'd never wanted to chain myself to her because of it. I just wanted to help in whatever way I could. After that night, though, Serena changed. She started cooking for me without being asked and left a lamp on every night I worked late. When life knocked me down, she'd rest a hand on my shoulder and say, we have to make peace with ourselves, shine in our own sky, and we can still light the way for others. In that moment, the moonlight showed me the spark in her eyes. I realized there'd never been any rescue. Between us, the current always ran both ways. Maybe because I'd once stood in the rain, I wanted to hold an umbrella for someone else. From that day on, Serena became the only person in my world. I poured myself into making her happy and longed to be her one and only. Later, we slid naturally into a relationship. Sure, life would stay on our side. Then Derek showed up. Serena turned into someone I didn't know. She stopped sharing anything with me. She was flat out cold. I asked her over and over what was wrong and got only an impatient glare. What's your problem now? All you do is pick fights. Are you controlling or just starved for attention? Can you quit inventing drama? Don't you have a life of your own? Even then, I never thought about giving up. I told myself she was just in a bad mood, that she still loved me. Reality slugged me hard. Jason, cat got your tongue. Say something. Don't tell me you've changed your mind about marrying me. If you don't want to, then get lost. My silence bruised her pride. She snapped at me. To this day, she thinks she did nothing wrong, and I was the one throwing tantrums. I don't get it. If she's already out of love, why dangle hope in front of me? Isn't she afraid of ending up with nothing? Derek is standing right there listening. In the past, if Serena brought up marriage, I'd have been over the moon. Now the idea leaves me cold. I don't answer. I just quietly clear my desk. I'm giving notice in a minute. I won't stay and spoil the view while you two play house. Her frown deepens. The temper she'd leashed flares again. You're impossible. How long will you stay mad? I've explained everything. Can't you be the bigger person? She spits the words through clenched teeth like she wants to tear me apart. I answer, flat, didn't you just tell me to get lost? If this had happened a year ago and I talked back, she'd have exploded. But now my voice is ice, detached, polite, like I'm discussing the weather. A guilty flicker crosses her eyes, but she still snaps. Funny how you never obeyed me before. You really need to work on that temper. I ignore her and head for the door with my box. When she sees I'm serious, her tone cracks. Wait. Her heels click across the lobby like rapid gunfire. Her thin fingers lock around my arm. I'm telling you to stay. The director promised me he'll kill the no dating policy. Derek's only doing it because he's fallen for her and doesn't want gossip. Only Serena believes he's being generous. Pathetic. I quit on the spot. My senior mentor has been feeding me job leads, work that fits my specialty and has a future. I kept turning them down, worrying Serena would misunderstand. This time I said yes, immediately. She texted right back. You finally came to your senses. All those hints weren't wasted. Let me know when you hand in notice. I'll come pick you up myself. Serena caught me at HR. What are you doing? You promised me. Going back on your word. How could you? What happens to me if you leave? Derek swooped in beaming. Serena, don't stress the small stuff. You still have me. The delight I expected to see on her face never came. She stood frozen, eyes locked on me, thoughts unreadable. Before, if Derek made a declaration like that, she'd already be glued to his arm, rattling off compliments. Now she didn't react at all. I almost laughed. I glanced at them and said, yeah, With the great director beside you, what's there for me to worry about? Then I walked out without looking back. To spite my indifference, Serena let Derek flood Instagram for days. Posts of them blatantly holding hands at the movies, spoon-feeding each other in the cafeteria. She even tossed him likes. She used to at least offer explanations. Now it was open provocation. Old coworkers texted, positive I'd storm the office in a rage. I didn't feel a twinge. I even left a comment, congrats. You too. Don't forget my invite to the wedding dinner. I figured I must really be over her. Why else would I stay this calm? Serena read my good wishes as sarcasm. That night my phone exploded with her messages. Jason, stop the act. Your fake indifference is pathetic. Director and I are just friends. We grabbed lunch, so what? Don't you have friends? If I were you, I'd stop embarrassing myself. I scrolled up without replying. All my care had been a one-man show. Page after page. Nothing but accusations. Every fight ended with her on the moral high ground, waiting for me to apologize. Not anymore. I looked at Chloe, my mentor, sitting across from me at dinner, and took a breath. Mind if I use you for a second? Chloe knew everything about Serena and Derek. She simply smiled. Knock yourself out. I snapped a misleading shot. At first glance we looked like we were kissing, and posted it on Instagram, then muted my phone. Chloe's project had hit crunch time. We'd be pulling late nights. When I finally checked my screen at 1 a.m. it was a war zone. Most messages were from Serena's friends. Jason, is this what a man does? Ever think how Serena feels? Her thing with Derek is work. You know that. Posting revenge pics, afraid Serena will find you dirty. I laughed out loud. They'd all seen Derek plastered over her feed, and watched them make out at the team offsite without blinking. One blurry photo from me, and I'm the villain. Talk about double standards. I deleted every last one of them. Serena rang, voice trembling on the edge of tears. Jason, how could you? I've told you 100 times, Derek and I are innocent. This counts as cheating. Have you no shame? She screamed so loud I held the phone away. The irony tasted bitter. So she does remember she has a boyfriend. That emotional cheating is still cheating. Then why can't she control herself? When I stayed quiet she sobbed harder. Keep this up and we're finished. Even if you crawl back I'll never forgive you. I could picture her tear-streaked face. A year ago I'd have sprinted across town to hold her. Swear it would never happen again. This time my answer was ice. Setting aside whether I actually kissed anyone, when you and Derek played those games, did you once think about me? She went silent. When she spoke again guilt quivered in every word. I told you it was just a team-building game. Derek didn't know we were together. You're being petty. Someone like you doesn't deserve to stand next to me. Serena had been self-righteous for so long that she still hadn't faced reality. Before, I loved her, so I could stomach whatever drama she cooked up. Now I don't love her anymore. So what is she to me? Great. Then let's break up. I'll clear the seat for whoever's next. Serena probably never imagined the word breakup would come out of my mouth. She forgot to cry. Jason, she tried to say more, but I didn't give her the chance. If there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. After the line clicked dead, I drew a long breath. It really felt like the end this time. My phone buzzed again with a new message from Serena. This is your last chance. Come pick me up at the firm right now, and I'll go home with you like nothing ever happened. Otherwise, I swear I'll choose Derek. She still thought threats worked on me. I sent back a string of thumbs-up emojis and tossed the phone aside. 6. Serena was used to being proud. She couldn't stand how indifferent I'd become. She was sure I was only sulking, so she doubled down. Half an hour later Derek updated his Instagram. The shot was clearly taken in a hotel room. He aimed the camera at the window, but in the corner you could see a woman's silhouette. I recognized Serena instantly. The dress she wore was the anniversary gift I'd bought her. She'd said it was beautiful, and she'd only ever wear it for me. No surprise, Serena had lied again. But what did that have to do with me? I set the phone down and started humming. Chloe, sitting nearby, teased, somebody's cheerful today. Good news. Share the joy. I couldn't help smirking. Took out the trash. Life's about to get better. Chloe didn't pry. That night, claiming it was to welcome me to the team, she dragged the whole group out to celebrate. After the drinks Chloe was tipsy, eyes glazed. Little rookie, you're seriously cute. Kinda like the guy I like. Her face was scarlet. Whether from booze or bashfulness I couldn't tell. But I'm in no shape to start something new. How many 7-year chunks does a person get? Even if Serena and I are finished, I can't just erase her. You don't forget someone you truly loved. Once the other women ferried Chloe home, I headed to my apartment. My phone rang in the middle of the night. Half asleep, I heard Serena's voice. Jason, come get me, please. The streetlight outside the complex is out. It's so dark I'm scared. Her words trembled. I knew it wasn't an act, She really was afraid. I remembered the time the elevator was under repair. Serena had worked late, and I'd called to check when she'd be back so I could meet her. She'd answered with pure disgust. Jason, since when do you clock my hours? Checking up on me. Where's trust? I'm not coming straight home after work. So what? You're ridiculous. Not everyone's as free as you. The firm made us stay. What do you want me to do? I'd called a colleague right after. Was Serena still at the office? The answer was no. Derek had already taken her out to dinner. They wandered the mall. 8. Never once thinking I'd be home worrying. A bitter laugh slipped out. I hadn't planned to expose her, but Serena suddenly snapped. Jason, what's that supposed to mean? Your girlfriend works late and you don't care. You actually suspect me. Are you even human? People always act busiest when they're guilty. Serena was proof. I'd barely spoken and she was screaming. Enough. I'm hanging up. Quit bugging me. Still, I'd gone to pick her up. Looking back, I was a pathetic idiot asking for pain. She kept murmuring on the line, but I was exhausted. I mumbled a reply and drifted off. Minutes later the bedroom light blazed on. Squinting, I found Serena sitting on the bed, face full of resentment. Jason, why don't you care anymore? I told you I was scared and you just hung up on me. You used to pick me up whenever I worked late. What happened to you? That man she described was the old me, because I'd loved her. When you love someone you give without counting. Meet her after overtime. Cook 3 spicy dishes and soup at 2 a.m. when she's starving. Always put her first. But that's over. I don't love her anymore. Why should I lose sleep over a stranger? Having my rest ruined for nothing. I rubbed my eyes. Well, you're here in one piece. Nothing happened, so what's the big deal? Serena went silent, studying me. Seeing I stayed calm, she lost it, yanking the quilt away and yelling, Jason, how long are you going to sulk over tiny things? This endless tantrum is disgusting. The irony was rich. She was the one who wouldn't quit. I'd already agreed to break up last time. The apartment is mine. Sleeping here is my right. Yet she plays victim. Hilarious. I looked at her evenly. Got it. Sorry you've had to endure me. She stared blankly, then slammed the door so hard the frame shook. I rolled over. Distant crashes drifted in, annoying but bearable. Next morning the living room and kitchen were wrecked. No mystery who did it. Serena sat slumped on the couch like she hadn't slept. When she saw me she inhaled and softened her voice. Jason, can we talk? Let's stop fighting. I don't want us like this. Even at her worst she'd never been this erratic. I couldn't grasp why she'd cling now. Isn't my letting go exactly what she needs? My stomach's growling. Could you? Before she could finish I thrust my payment QR code under her nose. Quick estimate. The stuff you smashed is worth about $3,000. Friends and family discount, make it 2. Serena exploded, eyes drilling into me. Are you insane? I'm trying to patch things up and you're milking me for money? I blinked, honestly surprised. I'm not mad, just stating facts. Even brothers split the bill, let alone 2 strangers about to split for good. She said nothing, fists clenched. Finally she caved. Fine, I promise I'll keep my distance from Derek. Happy, stop being unreasonable. I didn't answer. The conversation gave me a headache. What will it take for her to realize I simply don't love her anymore and want out? Whatever, send the money. I've got work. She caught the impatience in my tone and grabbed my arm. Jason, is some new job more important than me? I told you I'm hungry. I'd had enough. I peeled her hand off. You've got hands and feet. Cook if you want. Or order in. She froze, guilt flickering in her eyes, because those were once her own words to me. I'd been on a week-long business trip, running on fumes, when my appendix flared at midnight, curled in agony. I asked her to call 911. She was glued to her phone, chatting with Derek, and finally snapped. You've got hands and feet. Handle it yourself instead of bothering me. Now I'm only throwing her own words back at her, and she can't take it. I held on for a long time back then. Serena didn't answer. Her phone buzzed in the ringtone zone, and the second she picked it up I saw the contact name. Derek. Sweetie. Cute. Real cute. I gave a cold laugh. Here comes the white knight. If you don't feel like doing the dirty work, just call him over, and don't forget to change the sheets when you're done. All of a sudden Serena flung her arms around me from behind and wouldn't let go. Jason, I don't know why he's calling. It's not what you think. Don't talk like that. You're mad. Right. I know you're just jealous. That you don't mean it. I'm sorry. I'll change. Forgive me this once. Please. I swear I'll keep my distance from Derek from now on. There won't be another man in our lives. I almost laughed out loud. For ages Serena has acted like she didn't know what she was doing. She knew it was wrong. She just never planned to change for me. See, Serena, you're not stupid. You knew I'd mind. You knew it was wrong, but you charged ahead anyway. Whatever. Do what you want, as long as it makes you happy. The more indifferent I seemed, the more panicked she got. I could feel her tears soaking through the back of my shirt. I'm sorry, Jason. I never wanted us to break up. I just Just what? Just lost my head for a moment in someone else's sweet talk. Just never loved you. Only hated seeing you happy with anyone else. She could finish that sentence 100 ways. None of them ended with a love you. This breakup isn't a bargaining chip. Leave your stuff here until you find a new place. I'm done cycling through this drama with you. It makes me sick. I felt her grip weaken until her arms dropped like dead weights. She sat collapsed behind me like a broken doll, lifeless. I didn't even look back. I picked up my bag and walked out. I just rounded the corner at the bottom of the stairs when Serena came barreling out, purse clutched against her. In such a rush she brushed right past me without noticing. I didn't bother asking where she was going. I just kept walking. Chloe had loaded me with work, plenty to keep my mind occupied. That was when I discovered, to my surprise, that life without Serena still turned, maybe even shone brighter than before. On my break, I noticed Serena's usually dormant Instagram light up, a bridal studio shot of her in a wedding gown. Captioned, "A girl really is prettiest in a wedding gown, my first time wearing one, and it feels amazing." At the same moment a text hit my phone from an unknown number. No prizes for guessing it was Derek. He used to flood me with lovey-dovey shots of the two of them, hoping I'd blow my top. I never did, even blocked. He kept popping up with new numbers to wave their happiness in my face. Childish. I couldn't be bothered. Still, reading Serena's caption gave me a tiny stab. 7 years together, countless proposals, and each time she said, "Not yet, let's wait." I thought she was scared of marriage, so I never pushed. Then Derek showed up and proved that some so-called principles can be rewritten overnight. She'd sobbed and begged for forgiveness 1 minute, then posed in bridal white with another guy the next. Did she really take me for an idiot? Pathetic. I set the phone aside and ignored them both. When I checked after work, I had missed calls and texts, everyone from Serena. Don't read too much into the photo. Derek and I are done. It was just a goodbye souvenir. I've handed in my resignation. I'll stay home and be with you from now on. I laughed, out of sheer disgust. Anyone listening would think she was making some heroic sacrifice. I never asked for this repulsive gift. Her self-righteous martyrdom only made me nauseous. Sure enough, when I got home she had 3 spicy dishes and soup waiting on the table. "You're finally back, a rough day. I cooked this myself. Come, try it." Out of the corner of my eye I scanned the plates, everything was bright red. Since my appendectomy I haven't touched spicy food. But Serena never loved me. Why would she remember? "Thanks, but I already ate. Enjoy it yourself." Her face flipped instantly. "Jason, how long are you going to sulk?" I've bent over backwards. "What more do you want? Try understanding me for once." Understand what? That my almost fiancé ditched me again and again for some random guy. That I should smile while I wear the world's most obvious green hat. I'm a human being, not a saint. That kind of filthy compromise isn't in me. I stepped aside for you too. What's more understanding than that? I'm not angry, Serena. I'm indifferent. Do whatever you want. It means nothing to me now. She froze. Finally her voice shook. Why don't you care anymore? Jason, you can't have stopped loving me. That's impossible. You have to love me. A cold laugh burst out. I looked at her like she was trash. Why would I keep loving garbage someone else has soiled? Tell me what about you is worth endless love. Emotional cheating is still cheating. Stopping short of the bedroom doesn't make it innocent. And I'm no recycling plant. I don't take waste. She sobbed in the living room all night. I didn't budge. Next morning, eyes swollen, she finally realized I really didn't love her anymore. There was no road back. She kept testing me, unwilling to accept that the man who once saw only her had closed his heart. Jason, can't you forgive me just once? I know I messed up. She rushed to the bedroom, dug out a box, and thrust it at me. Look, I bought this ring the other day. I've changed. I want to propose to you. Everything's ready. Why won't you give me another chance? Everyone makes mistakes. You can't throw me away for one slip. Even now she didn't see the size of her mistake. Some things, once shattered, can't be reassembled. Too late, I said. I offered chances, you threw them away. She threw herself at me again, crying so hard her nose ran. It's not too late. If you forgive me we can start fresh. We can get married tomorrow. Please? Serena, that's you. You can pretend nothing happened. I can't. We're finished. She had no voice left for crying. I peeled her arms off, took a slow breath. Ending it is the only sane option. Staying together would be mutual torture. Dragging this on is pointless. She left in silence, none of her belongings in tow. I don't know whether my words sank in. All I knew was that it was truly over. The next time I heard anything about Serena it came from Derek, a photo of the psychiatric ward. If it weren't for you, Serena wouldn't be in here. You destroyed her. I blocked that number too. None of it had anything to do with me. She reaped what she sowed. From now on I live for myself.